Hello and welcome everyone. It is Wednesday, February 21st, 2018. New Comics Day, best day of the week. And man, we got some good books out this week, so let's get right into it here. Quickly before I go, I want to make sure I thank everybody that subscribed or watched my videos, sends me a comment. I do read them all. I try to answer I don't answer them all, but I do read them all, and I really appreciate all your comments. I hope you're liking the videos. If there's something you'd like to see or see more of, let me know. I really enjoyed doing that Spider-Man annual review and that Detective Comics review video. And I think I might end up doing that because I come home from my shop and I don't really have a chance to read a lot of these books before I do these videos. And between now and between the time I buy them and the following week, I think I'm going to do, if I have the time, I'll do a second video just talking about some things I've seen in some books and whatnot. So anyways, just want to let you know about that. Just got a couple books I picked up between last week and this week. I got Batman Rebirth #1. This is a Dynamic Forces J. Lee variant. It's a black and white variant. And it is limited to 1,500 copies. So had to pick that one up. Can't go wrong with your Batman. And next one I got is Marvel Knights 2001 Millennial Visions. Now I have to give a shout out to Vin Crew 12,000. He's got a cool channel, and he does these back issue comic hauls. And a week or so ago, I was watching one of his videos, and he mentioned this book. And I saw him talking about it. I'm like, that looks all right. And then he showed the cover. So I want you to look closely at the Punisher on the cover there. And I'm sure by now you see it. You got the Punisher with the Ghost Rider's head on it. So I don't know, is that first appearance of the Cosmic Ghost Rider? Possibly. He showed that and I almost crapped my pants and I had to run out and buy it. So I found a copy and, and bought that. So kudos to him. Vin Crew 12,000. Check out his link below. He's got some good videos on there. So yeah, check him out. And like I say, that's an awesome book. So I'm glad I saw that. Anyways, out this week I grabbed Bloodborne #1. That's from Titan Comics. There's a few variant covers for that. I only grabbed the A cover, but it's a cool looking book. It's based on the video game, so if you know the game, you'll understand that comic. It's a lot of hacking and slashing, but it's a low print run on that. That's gonna probably, I would think, under 10,000 for that. So. And most shops probably don't carry that. I had to order that in, get my shop to order it in. There's no way he would have had that normally. So that's one to look for if you can get it. Anyways, I recommend that one. From Image, I got Postal Mark #1. That's just a one-shot. I also got Hit Girl #1 was out today. That's another Mark Millar title. That's going to be I'm on the fence calling that an honorable mention. It's close to being an honorable mention. So, but anyways, I recommend getting that one. That's going to be a good one. Now, there's a ton of covers. You don't need to get all these, but I'm just going to show you the ones I got. I got the black and white. I got, I don't know what's A, B, C, D, all that kind of stuff. There's so many covers. Just going to show you all the different ones. I think I got 6 in total. I got that one there. None of these are limited variants or anything. They're all just the regular variants. And then I got the black, or the blank one as well. So this next one is an honorable mention. It is Ice Cream Man #2. #1 was did really well. I don't know if this is going to do as well as #1, but that cover is awesome. Like the covers on these are so cool. And so try to pick up both if you can. The neat thing about this story or this series is each issue is a standalone horror story. So some may be better than others, but overall I think it's going to do really well, and I like that one. So that's an honorable mention this week for me. That's it from Image and Independence. Next up we got some DC. Young Monsters in Love. I wasn't going to get this, but I asked my shop to bring it in, and because I asked them to bring it in, I kind of had to, I felt obliged to buy it. It's $10 cover price. I almost crapped my pants when I saw that, but anyways, I asked them to bring it in, so I bought it. I don't think I've read reviews on it, not very good, so, but we'll see. Anyways, Milk Wars Part 4, I picked that up. Brave and the Bold #1 was out. Batman and Wonder Woman. It's a 6-part miniseries, so I'll grab that all the way through, see how it is. Batman 41 was out. Cannot go wrong with Batman. Said that a million times. Got your regular, or sorry, that's the other way around. Regular over here and variant there. Starting a new story arc with Poison Ivy, so it looks pretty cool. Looking forward to that. Damage number 2 was out, so I grabbed a copy of that. Batman Sins of the Father was out, so I grabbed the regular and the variant for that one. Anything with Batman, I'll pick it up and check it out. I mean, you can't, like I say, you can't go wrong with it. So, and Batman and the Signal number 2 in that 3-part miniseries is out, so I grabbed a copy of that as well. That is it from DC. Now we get to Marvel. Got a few really good titles in Marvel. Marvel, you know, like say, I've said a few times, Marvel shit the bed. Last couple of years, they tried to take, I don't know what they were doing with their comics. They were going off in a direction that they were changing all the characters, and the story sucked. And people bitched and complained. And I know they had, at some of the comic shows and that, they had big open forums with the dealers, and dealers were bitching and complaining about stuff. And I guess they finally listened, because they seem to be, I got some good info at the end of this video about what's coming up too. So anyway, some of their titles are starting to turn around a bit. So this No Surrender, I really like this Avengers No Surrender, and the second printing of 676 was out today. So I grabbed a copy of that, or a couple copies of that. And nice thing with the second prints is they're all different covers. So it's, in a way, you kind of got to think of it almost as a limited variant, because that's technically the old variants. When you got a back in the day, when you got a limited variant, that's what it was a second print, but it was a different cover. So just color or whatever, but still, it was that's where the variants actually started. Platoon number 6 was out today. That's the last one in that 6-part miniseries, Punisher Platoon. Tales of Suspense 102. I started that series, so I'm going to finish it for sure. Venom 162 was out. That's the 3rd part of that Poison X crossover. And I got some really good, some awesome news about Venom coming up. Stick around to the end, I'll tell you about that. Infinity Countdown Prime was out today, so that's the regular cover. I got the trading card cover and that variant there. I picked up Hulk 713, the regular and the variant. And as you know, I've mentioned a few times, 714, the next issue. It's a monthly issue, a monthly comic, so next month is the start of World War Hulk 2, so make sure you grab that, because that's going to be a really good one. Just going to take those out of there for now. Next up, I got Doctor Strange Damnation. That's the start of that whole Damnation crossover. That's going to, obviously, there's a good bunch of Doctor Strange books, and then there's some Iron Fist, and I can't remember, there's a few other ones, but picked up a few variants for that. I got the Mephisto trading card variant. I got that one there. I got that one there. Kind of, I love all the variants. So, and then I got one, this is an honorable mention as well. I got the Young Guns variant for that. So, as you know, I've got every week for the last few weeks, there's been a Young Guns variant. Pretty sure these are just one per store. So, like I say, I spend a ton at my shop, so I tell him I want all these. He gives them to me at cover price, which is really awesome. So I got the first one was the Rogue variant, then the second one was the X-23 variant, last week was the Thing. This week is the Doctor Strange Young Guns variant. Next week will be the Black Panther variant with Black Panther 170. And the following week will be the Spider-Man 797 Young Guns variant. So those are the 6, there's 6 in total. So I got the first 4, I'm hoping to get all 6 of them, so we'll see how that goes. And my last 2, I've got Avengers 681. I was on the fence. I almost called this a pick of the week, but I'm going to call it another honorable mention. Really liking this Avengers storyline, and I am going to show some images here and talk about it briefly, so I want to give you fair warning. If you haven't read it and you want to read it and you don't want to know, turn it off, but otherwise I'm going to get going here. So inside here, it's the reason I'm calling this an honorable mention is they go into the origin of the Voyager, where she came from, who her father was, what he was working on, how she became who she was. So that's a really good one to get. Anytime you get the origin of a character, that's going to be a key book. So get that one. And also at the back of the book, second page from last, Hawkeye's back in the picture, so, and it is cool, you know, purple and blue uniform. So yeah, that's a good one. It's Avengers 681. I picked up a few copies of that one, and that series is selling really well, and it's going to second, I just showed you, it's going to second printings, so that's a good sign. That means people are buying it. My pick of the week this week, I don't think there's a whole lot of question about what I was going to pick this week. Spider-Man 796. I am going to show again some images and talk about it a bit, so if you haven't read it and you don't want to know, turn it off and come back in a bit. So the story starts out plain, you know, not too exciting. Alchemix, the company, the statue in Spider-Man Annual 42, the explosive statue, was taken by Alchemix to dispose of it, and they were going to use it as a power source because it's a radioactive power source. And of course the Goblin King shows up. He gets into a fight with Spider-Man and Anti-Venom, ends up taking off with a chunk of the statue, so now he's got a highly explosive stuff, which is interesting for the future. And then we get to Carnage and Osborn. So in the last issue you saw Carnage start to encase Osborn. In this issue, he does not become the Red Goblin yet. So he is not the Red Goblin in this issue. Carnage and Osborn are basically vying who's going to be in control. Osborn convinces Carnage to let him be in control. So Osborn is in control. He gets Carnage to, because Carnage melds with Osborn at the molecular level, he fixes his face. He looks all nice. He also rids his body of the nanites that Spider-Man injected into him, and which prevented him from becoming the Green Goblin. So now that Carnage has rid his body of the nanites, right at the end of the book, there's your picture of Osborn with the Green Goblin serum. And there's your, so next issue, 797, which was my original thought, that 797 would be first appearance. I did that in my Red Goblin video. And I was a little, then you know what, I saw 794 come along, and I thought, oh man, maybe 796. But yeah, it looks like my original instincts were right, so I should have stuck with that. But anyways, another key book to get. That is definitely a pick of the week. I'd almost call that a key book, but yeah, I mean, it is a key book. That whole run, that 794, 95, 96, those are definitely books you're going to want to have in your collection. I bought a ton of copies of this, so, and I got a ton on order for 797. I ordered those back in January, so yeah, that's going to be a huge, huge book, because you're going to have first appearance, you got limited variants for it and everything, so that's going to be, the hype for this one was pretty big. This one people were asking $20 on eBay 2 weeks ago. So once, now that everybody knows 797 is going to be first appearance, if you haven't gotten it in order, you probably won't get a copy. So I know a couple of my subscribers, Daniel Keller, got to give you a shout out. I do read your comments, and I see that you said you added that to your sub list quite a while ago, so good for you. And Gino Bonino, I know you got that on order too. So yeah, I hope you guys got a copy of this one, or a few copies anyways, and again for the next one too. So that's it for this week. Just want to talk real quick about some stuff that's coming up here. I mentioned that, so Marvel, they did their Legacy relaunch not too long ago, and now they just announced yesterday that they're doing a Marvel Fresh Start in May. So all their titles are going to be starting at #1s again. So it's like a relaunch of the whole Marvel, all their titles. Which is, I don't understand that, because they just went to the Legacy thing. But anyway, so that's what they're doing. So out of this No Surrender, there will be the new Avengers team. You'll have one Avengers team only, which is good in some ways. And that team is going to be Captain America, Iron Man, Thor, Captain Marvel, the Hulk, Black Panther, Ghost Rider, and Doctor Strange, who will kind of pop in and out. He's not going to be a regular on there, so it'll be a really good team, which is nice, instead of having one key character and a bunch of nobodies. So, yeah, they're going away from the Legacy numbering, which is, I don't know, anyways. But one really cool thing I mentioned about Venom, Donny Cates is taking over the writing for Venom starting in May. And as you know, Donny Cates started doing the Thanos, and that series is awesome. And he's mentioned that I would highly recommend you get that Venom series on your pull list. If you're not interested in it now, that's fine, but tell your shop that you want Venom as soon as that new series comes out, because he's already mentioned that there's going to be a character that's 1,000 years old, a powerful enemy coming in. So it sounds like to me there's going to be a brand new character, 1,000-year-old powerful evil character coming into that series right off the hop. And kind of the way he did with Thanos, how he brought Cosmic Ghost Rider in and the old Thor and the Thor's battling and stuff. So yeah, get that one on your. That's a definite must. Get that one on. The print runs on that right now are rough in the mid-30s, so they're not a huge print run. Anyways, yeah. And talking with Donny Cates, next week, Thanos 16 comes out. Make sure you pick that cover up, or that issue up, because that's going to have the origin of the Cosmic Ghost Rider in there. And the Silver Surfer, who is now black. So I can't remember why that whole. I gotta remember that, but he's in there as well. So that's going to be a kick-ass book to get. And for January, the print run for 15 was only 22,743. So that's a super low print run. And I mentioned earlier there is a third print announced for number 13, and again it's a completely different cover, and each of the print runs gets lower and lower and lower in number. So I highly recommend you talk to your shop and see if you can get that third print run of number 13. Another book out next week is Spectacular Spider-Man 300, which is going to be a good one to get. So yeah, that's it for this week, everybody. Some key books out this week, some more coming next week, and next few weeks there's definitely going to be some key books you want. So good hunting out there, and thanks for watching. I will talk to you next week. Bye.